So, for expediency, we're going to go ahead and do this with this way because Facebook has been interrupting my broadcast. Well, I guess it's probably my internet or something. Something's not connecting right, and maybe it's the HD video quality. I'm really not sure. Something's causing a disconnect. So, rather than fight with it while I explain this, my favorite part of this entire thing. And for those of you who don't know, sorry, give me a second here. There we go. Had to plug up the power supply because the battery was almost dead. Haven't used this in a while. How have you guys been? Me, I've been pretty good. Surviving. I've got a new album coming out very soon, called Highly Derivative. It's going to be released through Blue Effects, the label Blue Effects, and we're going to be on Spotify, I believe iTunes, and a couple other things like that. I'm following their lead, so I've never done this. I've always just given my stuff away, and so yeah, I'm really happy to be on I pride goeth before the fall, so I don't want to say proud, but I mean, you know, that feeling of enjoyment of releasing through Blue Effects. It's a supreme honor. But you can check it out on Mark Skin Radio. I've been on there, but they're based out of Boston. You can get them on the TuneIn app and stuff. Christian's Cosmic Corner is a place I know for sure. I know Christopher Johnson over there also plays Gearedmah from time to time, and I really appreciate both of them for doing that. That's really big. It's been helping out. I've been noticing some more traffic to Gearedmah, so I thank them very much. And this new album is probably going to be some of the best stuff that I've done so far, and I'm happy to be sharing it with you guys, but I won't be sharing it with you the same way I normally do, so I figured I'd show you behind the scenes how I do what I do. And I've already done one that I showed the entire studio just in a kind of a fast kind of, this is where everything is done. And if you want to see that, you can see that. If you're not into like long talks about geeky music stuff, this is not for you. This is not a cheap gear guy video. Although this drum set is fairly cheap. I mean, it's Elisa's. I put it together with used parts and stuff. So yeah. So I'll go through all of it. Okay, but it starts pretty kind of far back, so that's why this drum one is, I wanted to make sure it's not cutting in and out, because I was going to share this on Cheap Gear Guy anyways. I've got a 20, let's see how many pieces we got. Oh, sorry there, guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20? Is that 20? Did I already count that one? I don't know. We're around 19 or 20 piece. It's all running through an Elisa's DM10, and that is there's the DDTI. That's Elisa's Trigger IO. That's all it is. It's with a red box. So I just call it Trigger IO because it's what it is. It's what it is. They made a deal with the same company. I'll show you what I've got currently, and then I'll explain how I got to where I am. This is very close to like my dream kit. It's a little hodgepodge, and I would prefer things to work a little bit smoother. Like for example, I've got 3 triple zone cymbals that also choke. This one, so I can hit the bell. By the way, also, you're like, whoa, wait, what? All the sounds are going to be coming out of the DM10. When it goes through BFD, that's a bell, that's a bow, that's an edge, that's a choke. And same with this one. You hear that ka 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 ka. That's not what it sounds like in the finish. That's what I hear when I'm tracking. You know what I mean? If I'm, but I know that it triggered the because the BFD. We'll get into that later. Is much more realistic and it has better sounds. This is just programmed so I can, when I'm hearing that click track going, and I can keep up, and it sounds close enough to a drum set that I'm used to playing that, whatever. So this right now I've got it set up as a, you'll see this why I did this. This is a 5-tom. So I've got my snare, I've got my rim shot, I've got my side stick, see what I'm saying? I've got a lot of flavor there. I got 3 toms of that. But since this is, I also made this the outside accounted. Now that's what it does in BFD. In this it goes. You see what I'm saying? And there are a couple of them that have an go-go. Of course you're going to be stupid now. Let's see. So there's a, I gotta dial in the sensitivity, but I usually can. See what I'm saying? So, okay. Prime example, okay, so I got the 5 toms. I got tom, I got rim. I got tom, got rim. Got tom, got rim. Tom, rim, tom, rim. Okay, so why would you want that? Well, I'm not a good drummer, and I'm sure even the best of drummers will admit that when you're playing, you're gonna catch that rim. You're going to catch that rim. No matter how good you are and how much you practice, you're going to catch that rim from time to time. In fact, people honestly listen for the realism, right? So why not capture it? Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to hit both at the same time. You know what I mean? And when I do, it'll trigger both the rim and the center, and it'll sound, full sound of, but you also get that. You know what I mean? And so it's going to sound very like I'm playing a real drum set, because I'm not good. If I were good, I would use, instead of using a digital drum set where I can quantize how sloppy I am. You know what I mean? Because I'm just not tight. I'm not as tight as I could be with the whatever. So anyways. Now, here's the magic. The flick of a switch. Now, wait, I thought that was a tom. Well, no, it's not anymore. It's a percussion piece. So yeah, that's how that goes. Now, what I was talking about earlier is the 3-tom does not, although this one is 3-tom, this one is my second ride number 2. So when I'm like going, I want to kick it up like heavier. You know what I mean? When it's like it's already at fucking 10 and you want to take it to 11, I've got a louder, heavier triple zone ride right there. Just so it's not quite a crash. You know what I mean? I think to me that feels like too much. But if I have 2 separate rides, one's a little bit more, just a hint more aggressive. You know what I mean? You're already at max, right? You're already fucking banging the shit out of that ride. And you just need, like, for like that last, let's face it, verse chorus, it does a very structured type thing. Now the last time you go through the chorus, you might go through it twice. You're already at 10 on that chorus. Where do you go from there? Nowhere. Well, this one goes to 11. You just add an extra ride that has a bit more, and like I said, I'm not riding on a crash, which to me is just, and it's just too much. But a more powerful ride, it's dope. Okay, but the inside, the programming of this, they don't program this for multiple rides. It's programmed for, it's not their fault. No one actually programs their drums the way that I go through. I'm going for as much realism as possible. So there should, just like they have a hi-hat, when it plugs in, it automatically detects whether or not it is a continuous control or on-off hi-hat or whatever kind of hi-hat it is. When you plug in a cymbal, it should ask, is this going, how many zones is this going to be? And if you say triple zone, just like it does for the ride, it controls it exactly, because this is perfect. You hear the bell clearly. You hear the bow clearly. You hear the edge clearly. And it chokes clearly. It has the technology, but because I'm using different pieces in the exact same way now, on the exact same machine, but in different slots, it doesn't recognize it as clearly and as distinctly, because it doesn't link those two and do the automatic crossfades that it does to let that ride work that well. And if I could do that on this one, and this one, be a monster. Okay, I can choke that one, I can choke that one, I can choke that one, can choke that one, can choke that one, can choke this one, and can choke that one. I know you didn't hear it there, but if we were in BFD, which I might pull up here in a little bit just to show you the difference, because there is a huge difference. Screw it, let's, I'm demonstrating, might as well really demonstrate, right? Now that was regular. Let's listen to it. This is a 4-tom kit. Okay, so that's how that sounds. We're going to turn that off and we're going to listen to just BFD and see what BFD sounds like. And why would I use that? A little bit late. Little bit of sound difference, wouldn't you say? Now, the thing about it is, I'm going to go back to the, that was just one kit. That was just one kit. I own every pack for BFD from all third-party expansions. It's a total of like 62 expansions. We got kits from Neil Peart, played by Neil Peart, at Sound Studio, through that Sound Studio board that is now at 606 Studios with Dave Grohl. I've got Joe Barresi. He did a whole pack of he worked with Tool, he's worked with Alice in Chains, he's worked with, Jim Scott has worked with Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's a Chad Smith kit, there is a Steve Ferrone, and the snare that's on She Was an American Girl, that snare, I've got that sampled. And the great thing about BFD is that they don't, although it may be, how's the best way, each kit is kind of designed towards a genre, but it has a natural sound. Then, inside the mixing board, depending on the producer and the EQer, they will EQ that snare sound that you have until it's nice and crisp and cuts the mix and it sits perfectly in the mix. Now that's what groups like those other ones, those other drum programs out there, that's what they do. And then they sell you, here's the country pack, here's the Metallica pack, here's the whatever. You don't have to think about nothing. Everything that you would do to it anyways to make it sound great is already done for you here. This BFD is like, okay, so this is a Gretsch kit that it's mainly what's usually towards Americana. Okay, we're gonna just go ahead and record it. No tweaks, no genre, no mix ready mix. It's just the drums how they sound. Fair? And then you can EQ it however you want to. If you want to use, instead of an Americana, if you want to do like a dark, dusty stoner metal, you know what I mean, and detune the snare until it's just and just dragging, you know what I mean, you can do that. You can do that. And then if you don't want to do that, if you want to plug and play, they do mix and master it now, because I hate to say I have something to do with it, but I stayed in contact with FX Benson pretty frequently. I gave them a couple ideas and they liked a couple of them. One of them was, I told them the other companies are targeting guitarists. BFD is targeting producers and drummers who want their sound. It's one thing to give me a Mapex kit that's tuned to whatever you feel like it is. It's another to give me a Mapex kit that sounds exactly how it sounds in a professional studio with the professional mics and whatever, and I can add EQ until it sounds like how I want it to sound. And I can detune it, I can tune it up, and you can do all that in BFD. Always have, from BFD 1, BFD 2, BFD 3, and I hear there's BFD 4 upcoming. They got bought out by the company that owns Alesis. Don't want to spoil nothing, because I have some ideas of what's coming, but and it goes right along with some of the stuff I was telling them, including the fact that almost all the videos, of course they want to show them in their best light, right? They want to, so they have like somebody on a rolling kit, boom, 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 and I write them and I tell them, I'm like, you need to stop. You need to show with like a Behringer kit, or at most like a mid-range Alesis kit, because it will probably feel like, to the people watching who don't know anything about it, you need an Alesis, you need a Roland kit, which is $5,000 to make. You know, I get this kit right here. I've been doing this with BFD with a nano pad, like an MPC. I ran it with that for forever. I ran it with just click and point on a mouse when I didn't have anything to hammer on. You don't need anything except for MIDI notes. And those MIDI notes, actually, they sell packages that have that drum kit for you. You don't even have to know how to play at all. You can build your entire song. They have grooves and stuff laid out. And inside those grooves, they have the different types. Now when you open it up, it has like a whole song, like a whole like verse, chorus, whatever, ride to the hi-hat to the stick, and it gives you a bunch of stuff to play with. But if, like, say one of the kicks or something is in the wrong place, you can load that up inside of a grid. You know what I mean? A 4 to 8 count, however long the pattern is, and adjust the pieces. Like it's 85% of what I want. Well, you just like this. I wish it would just like slide that first. You know what I mean? First rim shot. I mean side stick. I wish it would slide like doom doom ba instead of doom ba. You just adjust it. You literally take the MIDI notes and just move them around. Doom doom ba 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 doom doom ba. It's done by a professional. It's all metronomic tight. It's perfect, and and they got drum fills. If you need to add more notes in there, you can pull up the drum fills like ba boom boom ba boom, ra doom doom do do doom. You know what I mean? You just draw the notes in, and you don't own a drum set. from that point on, the point when I told them that it might feel like they've used an Alesis strike. It may coincidental. Let's face it. They may have been like, dude, we don't want to seem elitist. Let's try and, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Because if I'm playing a Behringer $230 kit, but I make it sound like a real drum set and a real and it probably didn't sound that great on this, honestly, because I'm just using the microphone on here, and this is just to show how I do it. It's not supposed to be like an in-depth, real in-depth, and like let's get studio quality, because I hope I hit you with that with the new album. I hope you get a kind of a sense of where I'm going with this and what I'm trying to do from this video and stuff. Why are the cause you gotta turn the drum set up. Okay, so now that, like I showed you, now this is a percussion. It could be anything. It could be a cowbell. It could be, I got hundreds of. Now these are dual zone. There's 3 percussion pieces. They're dual zone. Then the rim. Then there's. Why? Because if I'm sloppy, which I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be going. You feel that? Now, if I like the feel of it, but I don't like the sound of it, once I put it in BFD, I've got BFD percussion, BFD swan percussion, BFD taiko percussion, and BFD, there's another, kabuki and no. And those have like oriental percussion. I don't want to be offensive. I think there's a difference between oriental, I hope I'm saying that correctly, because I think oriental is like a possession, but Asian would be like a person. So I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't mean any offense by it. If I'm ignorant about something, forgive me. So anyways. And I know I'm not monetized, so I don't give a shit about that. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I just don't want to be a dick. So, now, I don't mean to be a dick. Trust me, I'm going to be an asshole. I am an asshole. I think we all are. If you can't admit that, then shit. What are you doing here? Come on, man. Like George Carlin said, your birth certificate is proof of guilt. Come on. Come on, who are we fooling? Alright, so I got that 4-tom kit. I don't know why I'm putting on my gloves. It doesn't matter. I'm a little bit silly right now. So 4. Alright, now, well, what happens? I decide I want a 3-tom kit. Well, what do? Oh,